Call the meeting to order at
12:25.
Yes.
We're calling the meeting to order.
Did you already start the recording?
Yes.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Jose Zuniga, not present. Juan M.
Present.
Oscar Lopez, not present. Eva Montoya.
Present.
George F. Gonzalez.
Present.
Ma'am, you have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Approval of minutes for December 12th, 2018. Has anybody had a chance to review the meetings, the minutes for last board meeting? Does anybody have any questions? Or do I have a motion to approve the
Motion to
minutes?
approve.
My
second.
Okay. Motion accepted.
Motion to approve.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye. Okay.
All opposed?
Okay.
Okay, we have citizens' comments. We are required to fill out a business card. We don't have any citizens right now.
You don't have
We'll-
Nothing. No, you're just here, right?
Yes, okay. So, okay, no one is here. There's no comment. Okay, next item, treasurer's report. Financial update of Laredo Housing Finance Corporation, Falcon Bank account deposits and expenses of
Board members, as per our last account balance that we received the statement from January 2019, we had a beginning balance of 103, 457.16 cents. We did have two deposits, and we have an ending balance of 103, 103,579.06 cents. So that's our current finance.
Do you need a motion to approve it or no?
No. Just a report.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, next item. It's the finance operations and 2019 budget update by Capstone Real Estate Services with discussion of possible action on Hamilton apartment repairs, improvement, leases, operations, and management.
2019 budget was approved. Arturo notified us that budget was approved, so we did the variance report for the month of January. It's attached, and here is income. We had a negative variance of 3380, and that was due to loss. We had tenants pass away or leave to the nursing home during the holidays, and that's a normal trend for Hamilton. That's when it happens. So we haven't been able to leave the 92% mark. I think we lost two for community. We lost one for Laredo Housing, one market. And then I think I'm about to lose two more. You know how they say they always go in threes? Well, I'm up to 6. So, yes. Total maintenance and repair, we have a positive variance. We had supplies on hand, so there was no need to order additional supplies. Monthly services, we did have an increase in pest control. We did a clean out for the basement, and some units needed pest control cleanouts. I don't know if it's because of the surrounding area. If they're doing work, we notice an infestation, not to that extent, but we notice more activity, so we need more pest control, so that's why the cost increased for the month of January. Total utilities, we have an excellent variance there. We have a savings, and we actually had a savings in electricity, water, and wastewater for the month. Ad and promotion, there was a negative variance. That was due to the holiday parties. We did have it allocated for December, due to December being the 25th and all the receipts turned in. It hit for the month of January, but it was actually their Christmas and New Year's party. So that was the variance there. General and administrative, we had less OT for maintenance staff. Taxes is a little higher than what we budgeted for the month.
For what? $371?
Yeah, $371. Total miscellaneous, this is for the tenants that moved out. I think I only had one move out with a small balance on their account. The rest were okay, no, zero balances on them. Everything that you see, the $51,473, and the total operating income for $43,039 is reflective of the above. There were no owner's expenses for the month. Total debt service, that's our mortgage and everything is in line with budget. Capital, we had to purchase 3 AC units, and I did a replacement for VCT flooring in one of the units that we needed to turn, and then blinds for the unit. So we had a positive variance there. So reflective of above is the total income. We were budgeted at 1,056. We actually came in positive with 8,309 for the month.
Very good.
Yeah, so yes.
Sarah, going back to the vacancies, you said how many are?
We're losing, well, no, we're losing them. When we lose tenants at Hamilton, it's either they go to the nursing home or they pass away.
So, but how long does
Okay.
it?
Don't you have a waiting list?
Waiting
We
list?
have a wait list, so we call them
You call.
and move them up. But we had, since we're to capacity with community development, I think we're pending 2 that have already been filled. They're gonna start in
What
March.
let me just explain real quick. What she's referring to is, there's 100 vouchers that we provide through tenant-based rental assistance. So they go through us and we have a separate list that they apply with them, but then they come to us and they're an artist and they get assistance for housing.
I guess the question is, are we gonna fill those quickly, or what do you?
How long-
Those
how long do you
are
think?
filled, those are filled like,
Those are
when we have
filled
like
quickly.
200 people waiting on
Yes.
them, am I correct?
Yeah,
So-
it
so we
usually
should
takes
come-
about a month. The
About
thing
a
is
month.
from when they move out to when you get the person to come and update the application, bring the required documents.
It could be 2 months.
Sometimes we try to get them.
Sometimes it's less than 30 days.
Yeah, sometimes we can do like a partial month, right? We won't wait until,
The beginning of the
if they bring everything they're ready, we can get them in 15 days, you know. But usually they'll be missing a document, they won't have their paperwork up to date. So they'll have to get that together and then get a ride to come, you know.
Do we
to fill
help
out.
them with anything? I mean, if they have furniture or they don't have furniture, they just,
No.
themselves, they just walk in.
Correct.
Everything's
They just walk
furnished.
in, the only things the apartments have are of course, the AC and heater, and then the appliances, yes.
Do they have a bed? There's no bed?
A lot of them come with nothing,
So
without
that's
anything.
my question. Who helps them if they have to, if they're on the 10th floor or 11th floor?
Oh, for
Do we have-
usually their family.
The family?
They usually get family members to help them. We will have the rare case, I mean, very sporadic, we have the rare case and we try to accommodate through different nonprofits. We do advise Sarah of some nonprofits that are out there that are waiting to donate,
Yes.
either.
Bethany
That's-
has a big one that
The key
helps.
thing to remember, because we've had several issues, because sometimes people say, well, you need to help them, and it's an unassisted building, so we don't,
I don't know, but they're elderly and sometimes they need help. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
just trying to clarify, because I know that she gets harassed sometimes.
Yes, I get
They do.
regarding the unassisted living facility and the nursing home, they always compare us to a nursing home,
But
which
it's
is,
not.
which
We're
makes
not-
it
no, it's not a
difficult.
nursing home.
Yeah.
They're
It makes
just,
it-
it's just apartment.
It's independent senior living,
Yes,
and a lot of
correct.
people confuse it for assisted living or a nursing home. Sometimes they'll call in and ask to speak to a nurse or somebody to help them, and just apartments. Or they'll come to me and ask, like, is a tenant, at his apartment? I don't know. It's like they go about their days totally independent, so yes.
The other clarification I also wanted to do is, not only do we provide, it's 165 units, and then we provide 100 vouchers approximately, more or less, ranges from 90 to 100 all the time. Then there's 23,
I have 28
28.
Laredo housing vouchers.
which is the Section 8.
The Section 8. The ones that are difficult to rent is the market units, because all these elderly are on a limited income, and the rents, they increase every year. So even though our rents include the utilities, they still are kind of.
What's the market rent right now?
The market rent for a studio is $594, for a bedroom is $666, and for the 2-bedroom is $763.
It's all bills included.
It's all utilities included, but still, if you have a resident that only gets $700 a month and then to pay $594 rent,
They're gonna eat.
yeah, they all, for the most part, they wait until they have the assistance from community or from Laredo Housing. So that's where it's the difficult, where we run into the difficulty of renting that market unit.
But those that are designated as market have to rent as market, right? There's no.
Yeah, they're not
They're-
designated X amount for us and X amount for housing, no,
No.
the whole building is market,
The whole,
yeah.
Just
The
that
only
these
thing is-
people come with the assistance.
Yes, they come with the assistance.
Good.
So another thing that we needed to discuss is the rent increases for the commercial spaces.
Okay, so I guess first of all, is everybody,
Oh,
I want you to
any
elaborate
questions?
too on the ratification of, we do want to ratify, we had an emergency situation with one of the boilers going out,
Correct.
the water heaters, and we got Pepe to authorize an emergency transaction. You want to go over
Correct.
that?
We had to buy.
The building,
Didn't we just replace one? Or?
No,
Well, that was the one that we
that
were
was-
trying, the pump, or what was it that we replaced?
well, the
Yeah.
one that we replaced with was
The heat
the
exchanger.
heat exchanger up in the roof. The building operates on 2 water heaters, 2 industrial-sized water heaters. One of them gave out. We attempted to repair it, unrepairable. It actually like,
How old was it? You know?
original, old.
Okay.
That's why it's obsolete to fix. So we had a plumber come in and check it, try to repair it. He didn't recommend it. So then we went out for quotes. Finally, we got a quote. Ariano's gonna do the repair. The water heater is in Dallas as we speak. They need to build another portion of it because they have to bring it in parts to bring it into the
It's
building.
that big?
Yeah, it's huge, yeah. They have to bring it in parts so we
And our
can put
our
into the
urgency
building.
was that we didn't want the second one to go out.
That's what we don't want, yeah. So once it gets here, I think, or we have a tentative install date for February 28th. It shouldn't disrupt any of the hot water since we're running on one. They're gonna replace a new one. Once this one is replaced, we'll have to look at the second one because it's also as old as the first one.
How much are they?
What was the cost?
$48,886
For the water heater?
for the water heater and install.
48.
Yes.
They're gonna get it a replacement reserve?
We have a replacement
Reserve?
reserve, yes.
I would recommend you change out the other one también. If
Yes.
it's that old, you're gonna have problems.
Yeah, well, we know now, so, and that's part of the,
And since they have to build them or
one of the other
whatever.
items, because our capital
Our
improvement.
capital
But I wanted to just make sure
improvement
that we could get a more ratification on that transaction. Can you elaborate who was the company?
Ariano Plumbing, local plumber, the cost $48,886, and we have a tentative install date for February 28th.
But you said you got a couple of other quotes.
She tried, attempted to
We
get.
tried, we went out to, we reached out to Chavarria Plumbing, no quote. RNG Plumbing, Mr. Gomez, no quote. San Antonio Roto-Rooter, no quote, so.
But you documented all this.
Yes, we
so that's
documented
fine.
everything.
And we
Yes.
did clear with Pepe, and we requested him as the president to authorize the purchase as an emergency transaction. because-
So you need a motion to approve it?
Yeah, I would, just to ratify, would be good.
So just, I make a motion to ratify that installation and the cost of replacing the heater at the
Okay,
Hamilton
go
Hotel. The cost of $48,886, all in favor?
A second.
I mean, motion,
Second, and then all in favor?
all in favor?
Okay.
Okay, next item is discussion and possible action on Hamilton commercial leases and rates.
Yes. There is a recommendation in the back for the rent increase.
Did we compare with other current,
That's what they did.
We did, we recommend the restaurant increase to $225 because remember,
Square foot.
the rent includes their utilities, which is their water. For the restaurant, the water, the gas, and the light. And then for the other commercial spaces, the same thing, with the water and the light.
So they're currently, Rita, the restaurant is at 83 cents a square foot,
Yes.
and that equates to $1,500 or what?
1250?
$12.50.
And then how much is the light bill and water bill, and how much is that coming
See,
out?
that's-
It's in the same meter though.
It's
That's
one
what
meter.
we-
One meter, so we don't know.
Yes, exactly.
I've been getting a good deal.
So the new rent would be $225, and then, so the new rent would be $3,375 for the restaurant.
Yes.
That's what you're recommending?
That's what we're recommending.
And then the Western Union,
It's $1,300, it recommend to $1,422.
It's okay.
you're just increasing about 24, and you're making a,
An increase of $122.
That's not very much.
And then the provider services, they take both of the other 2 spaces. So they pay $650 for one and $550 for the other one. We're recommending they go to $1,129.80 and then $882. And that's leaving them at $2.10 a square foot.
The question I have is why one at 210, one
Yeah.
225? What are they?
The square footage.
Why-
The square footage
why
and
you-
then the Western Union and the restaurant are corners, the 2
Okay.
corners.
So if-
Okay, that's
So-
why you're asking for a new.
so that's why you can justify that,
Yeah.
the change.
Okay.
Now, is the restaurant wanna, is the restaurant gonna pay this increase? Well, I guess, find out.
So this will be effective when?
I need to give them notice, especially Western Union and restaurant, I need to give them notice before the end of the month.
Because
Yes.
their leases are up. in a
Their
month.
leases are up in March, yes.
So I don't
Is
think
1
that
month enough-
Western
enough
Union's
notice?
gonna, make a big deal.
I
that
don't
the
think
ones
so. I
we're
think
gonna
the
have
one-
an issue would be
yes.
The restaurant.
The restaurant.
The
and even
restaurant,
Palomita.
I think so too. And we have to, I kind of mentioned it to Sonia that the Palomita provider company, those two commercial spaces were vacant for a long time before they came in, so it kind of like, see
See what they do?
what they say with the recommendation.
What's the board, these are recommended to the board, so we would need your approval to proceed with them.
Only one way to find out.
And there's no way to change, to add meters for those
We
areas?
did check into it, and it would not be cost effective for
We
the
can't do
site.
it.
It would be very expensive. To separate like the restaurant and the commercial spaces from the actual tenants, we asked.
That would be the
It
best thing, that way you can say, pues, mira, te sale tanto de luz y gas or whatever, but
So Western Union has been there 12 years, so
Correct.
this is the first time that the rent is gonna
No, they've
increase?
gotten, I think the last time was like $100 rent increase, because he was like at $12.50, and then it went up to I'm sorry, he's at $1,300. He was at $1,200, went up to $1,300, but this was 2 years ago when the lease renewed.
and the restaurant's been there for 9 years already?
Correct.
Wow.
So there's no way to see how much power they use, no?
No,
No.
and they probably use a lot.
The restaurant, I think, is the one that incurs most of the
Oh, yeah,
cost.
yeah.
The Palomita services, they're only there Monday through Friday. There's no activity with people coming in and out. There's only one person in one of the offices, and the other one is, they just have like supplies there. So I see very little activity in those two offices. The one that concerns me is the restaurant, which that one does incur a lot. And then Western Union, electricity. They don't use gas.
Did you
And,
bring the comparisons or like as to how you derived to this amounts?
Sonia was the one that did that for me, I'm sorry.
Do we know like what another 1,500 square foot building consumes in
Within the city?
electricity?
We checked around, I think some of them were like $2 a square foot.
No, but any idea of what they're consuming in light
Oh.
or whatever?
No, mm-mm.
I know it depends on the usage, but
No, I wouldn't be able to
That's
answer
per
that.
kilowatt. You know they have freezers and all that stuff?
The restaurant has the big refrigerators, and they have, he has one, two, three, he probably has like 3, those industrial size refrigerators, so.
Gas, too.
I mean, I
And
think
gas.
that,
It's
He uses
easily
the
gonna be
gas.
$800 or like.
at least, I don't think.
I think
Was
it's-
it
I mean, I think-
Gas, another.
I think it's still a bargain.
I think at 83 cents.
1,000.
From, yeah, he's gonna notice the increase
Está
because
barato for commercial, I think that
With all
it's running with
utilities paid?
with all utilities paid, I think it's probably running at much higher than that. Even at 225, even with an increase of 225 with all utilities and the type of business that they're running in that location,
Mhm.
225 is on the low end. So,
So these are your recommendations. So you think there's not gonna be any issues with the Palomitas?
I mean,
You haven't mentioned anything to anybody? have you?
No, I have not. No, I have not.
And this would be effective when?
Well, the Palomita provider services, we still have till May 31st, and then October is their, they,
When they renew?
the doctor left, and since the doctor knew this Mr. Pina, he recommended that he take over one of the offices. Once there, he decided to take over the other vacant office that had been, vacant for a while. So it worked out good. So we still have time for the renewal. One of the leases expires in May, and then the other one in October.
I would recommend that maybe you pursue adopting a rate so they can notify them since now.
Mhm.
And if they're unhappy with it, that way they can at
Give us
least,
ample time.
well, no, at least maybe mention it, and then you can bring it at the next board meeting and
Okay.
say that, you know, that they weren't in agreement, that they would propose something else. And then we can maybe go into executive session and we can discuss that.
What I do hear a lot of complaints about is that, especially from the Western Union guy, not so much the provider services, like I said, because there's very little activity, but you know how Western Union is a corner, that other corner going to El Metro, you know how the homeless population for a while, they had a tent there and stuff, well, they come and they would, you know, urinate outside outside the building, you know, little things like that. So that I don't know if that would be a concern or
Is that still
something
going
to.
on?
Yes,
It
I
still
think
goes on?
it improved.
Don't they
and I
have
think-
PD around there? PD walking around and stuff?
The PD has a station now at the post office and at the post office.
2 Saturdays ago, one of my residents had to call the fire department, and then they came and cleaned it off, because you know how you're on Matamoros, the exit to our building, that little area is
Well-
kind of hidden. Mhm.
I mean, with this increase, would it be possible that you would be able to clean that area a little bit more often?
Mhm.
I mean, you can always justify it like that.
Mhm. That too.
I mean,
Mhm.
if the landlord is concerned,
The-
the tenant, sorry, is concerned over the cleanliness of the
he
outside of his
concerned about it, or-
building.
Not
Yeah,
not the
okay.
building, not
No, no,
not maintenance per se, but what happens after hours on the
I
weekends, you know, it's
I know the
Western Union is open till what time?
Saturdays. They're open Monday through Friday. Saturdays, they're open till about, I want to say 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So after that, there's no activity there. It's in the evening, the nighttime.
I mean, because there's a big difference between what the Western Union and Palomitas are paying right now. So the increase is gonna be substantially higher for one, and then
Because
compared
of
to
the
the
square
other
footage,
one.
yeah.
But it's very little square footage difference between the Western Union and Palomita. It's only like.
Are they two
90.
separate ones or are they the same one?
The Palomitas, it's 2 separate offices.
But the Palomita one and Western Union, I mean, if you look at the square footage of the building, is 90 feet difference, but yet the rent was like more than double. So they're gonna, I think we're gonna get pushback from Palomita one as on, in terms of that we're doubling the rent.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
a
don't know
double
why
increase.
we're at 650.
Well, that's up to the board. I would just like to remind the board that you had given direction to management
We have.
to consider the cash flow operations. You've been doing great strides. Obviously, we saw,
Yes.
I move that you present these to them and let's see what they come back with.
To present to the.
To the tenant,
tenants?
to the tenants. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Say this is what,
I don't think the restaurant is gonna make
I
it.
don't think the restaurant is
They're
going to
gonna
go
make
for
it.
it either.
They're not gonna make it. They're always been struggling.
I have no idea.
But, I guess, but do we set
We wouldn't have
a
a
per square
cap
footage?
for their finances.
No, we can't.
What you can say is you can advise them and then maybe limit the implementation of the execution of the rent to the next meeting, and maybe he can come and mention to you all or elaborate any concerns he's got, or maybe some difficulties in reaching that cost that is being proposed. So, I mean, we can't speak for him.
no,
Yeah,
so when was the last
Just
rate
think he's
increase
going
for
up
these guys?
like,
No, I don't think
what,
there's.
like
Has it-
200% on his rent?
Has there ever been an increase for these guys?
No.
No, this is the first time in 9 years and,
And almost 10 years, yeah.
And 10.
Mhm.
Well, that's what he's.
I mean, they're getting a good deal right now, so.
So then we,
You said you shopped it and this is what other comparable are charging,
Everybody's in town.
Not everybody, like
but the bigger ones.
the bigger, there's some little areas that are paying more, and then bigger areas. It's all over the place.
I mean,
The
can-
square footage is
can
all
we
over the
table
place.
that
But
and
they're
get a little bit more
comparable
information for
next
next
to each
meeting
other
in
because
regards
there's
to-
Yes.
different
Well,
areas that
They're-
are better
they're-
than
Yes,
others.
correct. So next to each other, there is like,
So that way we can have.
it's not set, it's all, it's up there, it's different.
You can
I
table
will
it if
check.
you want.
Okay, well,
Check
I
and
guess
it's-
this is what we can do. You can, for
Okay.
the next meeting, you can bring us exactly when the renewals of these 4 properties
Okay.
are, because we don't know right now which one is next.
No, no.
Well,
No,
yeah, they're here.
The lease
Those are-
expiration.
Yeah, that is a pretty good-
The first
yeah,
row
That
column.
information is there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Like you still,
piggyback. Oh.
the thing to it is that the notification would not hit until the next, but I imagine that your lease goes into a month to month after the.
A month to month after they, after
So
they.
the board still has next month, if you decide to continue with these rates or adopt a different one, she
And
still
you
has to
can
go
have
out
like a
days.
transitional,
Yes.
like going in, you know what,
For the 6 months will be
for this month it's gonna be this, and it's
then
gonna
the
start
next
to
6
this,
months,
yeah.
till you get to the number, because it's kind of,
It's kind of like.
it's kind of like,
yeah.
like the
It's
restaurant,
drastic.
Yeah.
it's gonna go up
2,000 per
Agreed.
month.
like 2 times more than what he pays.
Yeah, he may,
Like 3 rents per month, that's what he'll be paying, what he's paying right now.
yeah, he'll probably freak out.
I mean, with the option of him knowing that it's
So-
gonna increase to that point where
Yeah,
maybe he
like-
wants to not,
Or maybe do like, okay, these next few, like you say, these next few months, it's gonna be this, and then in 6 months, it's gonna be this, and then at the end of the
Yes.
year, it's gonna be this, so you're
Yes.
giving him time.
Yes.
And even if, yeah, okay.
The board's discretion, you guys want more time, or you guys want all the board here to make that decision, or, and they can get you more information?
Let's table it until we get Oscar and Pepe here, so that all of us can
so
discuss
I,
it one more time.
I would say we table the item so we can get a little bit more information
And to
regarding
find
how we,
out which comparable she
yes,
used,
how we ended
which
up
ones,
with this.
which businesses they were in. Bring us that information,
Okay.
so we can see what we're comparing.
What's gonna happen if we bring, the owner, he's gonna wanna know like.
No,
what's the minus and the-
No, you don't have
No,
to
let's
explain
just
it.
wait for the other
You don't have to
two,
explain it.
the other 2 members, and then see what comparables you use to see what they're paying. And we can
I
discuss.
think you should put the burden on, for example, the restaurant, you know, how, I mean, there's a very sweet deal with 83 cents a square.
Oh, it is, but,
Right.
but
So-
we also have to
Correct,
do it gradually, you
Transition.
can't just go like from 1 month to
Yeah,
the next,
I
like
agree.
3
No,
times.
I
huh?
agree.
that's understandable.
Agreed.
You have to give them chance to
It
move
makes
somewhere
sense.
else.
Yeah, no, we need to
Or
do
adapt.
that. And to be fair, and to be fair.
I think we should stay with the premise that we want him to stay, but
Yes.
we need to reach an accommodation with him to what is reasonable.
What is
Yes.
really
A
the
little
real
bit more
rent.
reasonable. This is a great deal for him, but
Yes.
I don't think it's
It's
for
a good
Agreed.
deal for the
for
Hamilton.
the, and we're looking at it from the operational standpoint, but then we also want to look at it, you know, from the positive impact that you have
Downtown.
a
Por eso que we can't,
too, so,
we need to look at it a little bit more careful.
yes.
Yeah, okay, yes.
So then I have a
So
motion
A
to
motion
table
to
the
table,
item.
a motion to table,
Okay,
so we get everybody here.
motion by Jorge, second by Juan. Everybody in favor, everybody in favor?
Aye.
Like,
I'm gonna ask you to see, we're gonna need a little bit more time, with the next item. Which one was it?
Discussion and possible action regarding capital improvements.
Just to give you a little information on that, I did meet with, me and Tina did meet with Sarah and Sonia from the management, and we did start discussing with them a long-term capital improvement plan. What I mean by that is looking at the entire building as a whole and looking at the key elements and prioritizing repairs and investment in the building itself from the cash flow so that the board can approve and look at. So we do have a laundry list
We
that
have
we
a
already
laundry list,
developed.
yes.
And what we just haven't had to able to present to you also. We'll bring it for sure to the next meeting.
But since we did that big remodeling, there shouldn't be too many items, or are
No,
there?
there's
There's a bunch of stuff?
There's a
we need to
lot.
start, keep on maintaining.
Well, it's
everything.
just the maintenance of it, everything from the flooring, to the painting, to the lighting, to the repairs on the
So do
elevators.
we have enough in the reserves to?
No, but it's not gonna be one hit.
Manage.
The purpose of a capital improvement plan is to look at a funding
A
cycle for
long-term.
10 years or more, you know. And for right now, we're gonna look at 5 years and then kind of look at like all the exterior windows. Like one of the key priorities is the front doors.
The front
They need
doors, those
immediate
need,
replacement.
those need to be replaced. Those are,
Have you gotten estimates?
yes.
So we need to identify those to you all and then just okay it, and then that way she's got a plan to work off of.
So do the doors fall into the historic
Yeah,
society?
they do. They have
guidelines?
to, they have to be a replica of what we have now, so that's where it's a little,
Yeah, we do.
So if we can, that's the report right now for right now.
correct me if I'm I'm wrong, anything exterior needs to fall into
Yes.
to the historical.
windows, the color.
Yeah, the color,
The awning
awning repair,
replacement.
mhm.
All the lights on the exterior awning don't work.
They work sometimes.
So, I mean, we need to bring all that, stuff back to
We
working.
need to be careful with that at night.
What's that?
If the lights don't work at night. Is that
Yeah,
what you're
like
saying?
the awning has like little lights, if you ever really seen it lit,
They're built into it.
they're built into it and they're not functional right now.
They
correct?
function when it's nice and dry. When it rains or there's dew, they go off.
So we need to start,
It's electrical.
it's just
something
looking at the
electrical.
maintenance of the building in an entirety. So, I mean, it's gonna be not overnight, but, at least we're starting to look at.
So, okay, next item, discussion and possible action on the yearly calendar of meeting dates for 2019.
Why, how come we don't have March?
Does y'all change it for every other month?
Oh, we did every 2 months? Oh, but I think you're gonna wanna schedule one for March
Okay,
because of the rental issue.
Yeah, we can
So
call
I
it.
wanna,
take a motion to schedule a March meeting. What is a good date?
so this is a calendar kit, the proposed date for you all.
You to add
So we're
March.
every other month.
Yeah, we had voted to, for every other month. Unless, it was more like an emergency. So I guess March for
For the leases.
21st?
So the 20th is a Wednesday?
You've been meeting every third Wednesday.
Oh, okay, 20th? It's not spring break? Like, who knows about spring break?
No, spring break is the
Yeah.
11th,
Oh, okay.
so the
So
20th is
March-
the weekend after.
March 20th?
Okay.
Yes.
So just add that date to the calendar and
So
remain the
March
calendar, right, so you can adopt it, that would be good.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and add March 20th to, as a meeting for March to discuss the lease situation at the Hamilton. And then we're gonna adopt the calendar for 2019 meetings, board meetings. So do I have a motion?
I motion.
Second.
Okay. Everybody in favor?
Mhm.
Okay.
That should be it.
That should be it. Adjourn? Meeting
Motion to
adjourned.
adjourn.
Motion to adjourn the
So
meeting
moved.
at 12:55.
So moved.